You're holding a drone that weighs less than your smartphone, fits in your jacket pocket, and somehow, it has the exact same camera sensor as DJI's $1,000 plus flagship drones. Sounds impossible, right? Well, I've just spent 3 weeks absolutely torturing the new DJI Mini 5 Pro, and I'm about to show you something that's going to make every Mini 4 Pro owner either really excited or slightly annoyed they bought too early. But here's the thing, there's a hidden controversy with this drone that DJI barely mentions, and it could actually be a deal breaker depending on where you live. I'm going to reveal that in a few minutes, so you'll definitely want to stick around for that. Plus, I discovered a filming technique using the new rotating gimbal that literally got me footage with creative possibilities that weren't available on much more expensive drones. I'll show you exactly how to do it later in this video. The camera revolution. Alright, let's talk about the absolute game changer here, this camera. DJI has essentially performed magic by cramming a full 1-inch sensor into this tiny body. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a bigger sensor. What's the big deal? Oh, my friend. Let me show you exactly what that means in the real world, because the difference is honestly staggering. When I first took both drones out to capture the same sunset scene, I thought maybe I'd see a marginal improvement. You know, something you'd have to really pixel peep to notice. But when I loaded the footage onto my computer, my jaw literally dropped. The Mini 5 Pro was pulling detail out of those bright sky highlights that the Mini 4 Pro was completely blowing out. We're talking about 14 stops of dynamic range here. That's genuine cinema camera territory in a drone that weighs less than a cup of coffee. But here's where it gets really interesting. That larger sensor doesn't just help with dynamic range, it absolutely transforms the low-light performance. I took both drones out at twilight, right after sunset when there's that beautiful blue hour lighting, and the Mini 4 Pro started struggling almost immediately. The footage was noisy, the details were mushy, and honestly, it just wasn't usable for anything professional. The Mini 5 Pro, though, it's like it didn't even notice it was dark. The footage stayed clean, the colors remained accurate, and I could actually see detail in the shadows that I couldn't even see with my own eyes. And this isn't just about bragging rights. This changes when and where you can fly. You're no longer restricted to that golden hour window. You can now capture usable footage well into the evening, which opens up entirely new creative possibilities. I've been using this to shoot cityscapes at night, and the results are genuinely stunning. The dynamic range means I can expose for the bright neon signs while still keeping detail in the darker streets below. Night footage comparison. Montage. Now, let me show you something that honestly blew my mind the first time I used it. DJI's added this medium tele mode, essentially a 48mm focal length, and it's completely lossless. You're getting 2x zoom with zero quality degradation. When I first heard about this, I was skeptical because we've all seen digital zoom before, and it usually looks terrible. But this technology came from the Pocket 3, and it genuinely works. I tested this by filming the same subject with both drones. The Mini 4 Pro's digital zoom looked soft and mushy, like someone smeared Vaseline on the lens. The Mini 5 Pro's medium tele mode, sharp as a tack, full 4K resolution, and you genuinely cannot tell the difference from the standard wide lens, except for the framing. This means you can punch in on your subject without physically flying closer, which is massive for wildlife, sports, or any situation where getting closer would disturb your subject or isn't safe. The creative, unleashed. Okay, so we've established this camera is phenomenal, but DJI didn't stop there. They've added this rotating gimbal feature that I initially thought would be a gimmick. You know, one of those features you use once and forget about. I was so wrong. This has fundamentally changed how I approach drone cinematography, and I'm going to show you exactly why. The gimbal can now rotate a full 225 degrees. Let me put that into perspective. You can start with the camera facing forward, rotate it completely to the side, swing it around to face backward, and capture perspectives that were literally impossible before. I used this recently while following a mountain biker down a trail. I started with a standard following shot, then mid-flight. Without stopping the recording, I rotated the gimbal to show his perspective looking back at where he came from, then swung around to capture his facial expression as he navigated a tricky section. The result? A single, continuous shot that would have required 3 separate drones or multiple takes to achieve before. My client was absolutely floored, and honestly, so was I. This isn't just a cool party trick. This is a legitimate creative tool that opens up entirely new storytelling possibilities. rotating gimbal in action. And here's something that makes the Mini 5 Pro actually better than the more expensive Mavic 4 Pro in one specific way. When you switch to vertical mode for social media content, and let's be real, that's huge right now with TikTok and Instagram Reels, the Mini 5 Pro maintains full 90-degree downward tilt. The Mavic 4 Pro restricts this heavily, which means you can't get those satisfying top-down vertical shots. With the Mini 5 Pro, you've got complete freedom. I've been using this to create vertical content of coastal landscapes, and the engagement has been insane compared to my horizontal content repurposed with black bars. You can shoot true native vertical with completely overhead shots, tracking shots, everything. And because you can switch between horizontal and vertical without landing, you're essentially getting two different shoots in one battery cycle. Here's a pro tip I discovered. Combine the rotating gimbal with the spotlight tracking mode. Set your subject, enable spotlight, and then use the gimbal rotation while the drone orbits around them. The result is this incredibly smooth, almost cinematic reveal shot that looks like it was carefully planned with waypoints, but you're doing it live, reacting to your subject in real time. I've used this for wedding shots, real estate reveals, even just creative personal projects, and it works beautifully every single time. The intelligence upgrade. Now, let's talk about something that might not sound sexy on paper, but is absolutely crucial if you actually fly drones regularly. The new LiDAR sensors. Stay with me here, because this feature has literally saved my drone from crashing multiple times already, and it's going to save yours too. The Mini 4 Pro had excellent obstacle avoidance during the day. I mean, genuinely impressive stuff. But the moment the sun started setting, those sensors would just give up. I remember one shoot where I was trying to capture some evening footage near a building, and the drone just flew straight toward a wall because the sensors shut off in low light. I had to manually stop it with the sticks, which was terrifying and completely defeats the purpose of having obstacle avoidance in the first place. The Mini 5 Pro changes everything with forward-facing LiDAR that works down to candlelight levels. I'm not exaggerating. I tested this by flying it in my garage with all the lights off except for a single candle, and it still detected obstacles. In practical terms, this means you can safely fly during blue hour, in parking garages, under bridges, anywhere with minimal lighting, and the drone will still protect itself. Low-light obstacle avoidance test footage. I put this to the test in the exact same scenario where the Mini 4 Pro failed, flying toward a wall with only street lighting. The Mini 5 Pro stopped itself perfectly, hovered safely, and waited for my input. More importantly, this makes return to home at night actually safe. Before, if your drone initiated an automatic return home after dark, you'd be nervously watching, hoping it wouldn't hit a tree or building on the way back. Now, those LiDAR sensors keep working, actively avoiding obstacles as it returns to you. And here's something really clever. The Mini 5 Pro can perform return to home without a satellite connection, thanks to these LiDAR sensors. So, if you're flying in an area with spotty GPS, like under dense tree coverage or near tall buildings, the drone can still navigate back to you safely using visual and LiDAR data. That's just smart engineering, and it gives you genuine peace of mind. The tracking system has also received some serious upgrades. You now get custom tracking modes for different activities: walking, running, cycling, driving, and you can set specific heights and distances for each one. This sounds minor until you actually use it. I set up my walking profile to keep the drone close and low for intimate shots, but my cycling profile keeps it higher and farther back to show more environment. The drone remembers these settings, so I don't have to fiddle with adjustments every single time I switch activities. The maximum tracking speed has jumped to 15 meters per second, which means it can now keep up with faster-moving subjects. I tested this while my friend was driving his car through some winding roads, and the Mini 5 Pro stayed locked on perfectly, maintaining the distance and height I'd set. Previously, the drone would struggle to keep up and either lose tracking or the subject would exit the frame. This improvement alone makes the Mini 5 Pro significantly more versatile for action sports, automotive content. The practical details. Alright, let's get into the details that might seem small, but actually make a huge difference in day-to-day use. First up, the propeller system. DJI has finally moved away from those tiny screws that held the Mini 4 Pro's props in place. If you've owned a Mini 4 Pro, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those screws were fiddly, easy to strip, and if you forgot the special screwdriver, you were completely stuck if you needed to change a prop in the field. The new push and twist system is brilliant in its simplicity. No tools required, Just line up the prop, push down, and twist. Takes literally 3 seconds per propeller, and you can do it anywhere. I actually crashed the Mini 5 Pro during testing, caught a tree branch I didn't see, and I was able to swap out the damaged propeller right there on the hiking trail and keep flying. With the Mini 4 Pro, that would have ended my shoot for the day. The integrated gimbal and propeller guard is another one of those changes that seems minor until you're actually using the drone regularly. Instead of 2 separate pieces that you had to fiddle with, it's now one unified component that snaps on and off in seconds. This matters when you're setting up quickly because lighting conditions are changing, or when you're trying to pack up before rain hits. Demonstration of new propeller system and guard now. Here's where we need to address the elephant in the room, the weight controversy. My review unit weighs approximately 252 grams, which is technically over the 250-gram threshold in some regions. I reached out to DJI about this, and they confirmed that production units should be at or under 250, but there might be minimal variation unit to unit. Interestingly, the box and drone no longer prominently display sub-250 grams anywhere, which suggests DJI is being more cautious about this claim. Why does this matter? In many regions, including parts of the United States and the EU, drones under 250 grams have relaxed regulations. You might not need to register them, you can fly them in more places, and there's generally less red tape. If your unit comes in slightly over, you might lose those benefits. Now, DJI has confirmed the drone is C0 compliant, but this is definitely something to be aware of before purchasing. Weigh your specific unit when you get it, and know the regulations in your area. Storage has received a massive upgrade that solves one of my biggest frustrations with the Mini 4 Pro. That drone had a laughable 2 gigabytes of internal storage, which was basically useless. You could barely fit one high-quality video on there. The Mini 5 Pro comes with 42 gigabytes built in. That's a day-saving amount of storage if you forget a memory card or if your card fails mid-shoot. I can fit dozens of clips on there, and it's fast enough that I don't notice any performance difference compared to using a dedicated microSD card. Storage and battery comparison: battery life has improved, though not dramatically. The new batteries have slightly higher capacity, giving you a rated 36 minutes of flight time compared to 34 on the Mini 4 Pro. In real-world testing with active flying, camera movements, and tracking, I'm averaging around 23 minutes, which is pretty solid for a drone this size. More importantly, charging is significantly faster with the new 2-way charging hub. All 3 batteries fully charged in under 2 hours compared to 3 hours with the old system. That matters when you're on location and need to turn batteries around quickly. There's also this nifty new side button that instantly opens the quick transfer feature in the DJI Fly app. Instead of diving through menus to download footage to your phone, you just press the button and start transferring. It's a small quality of life improvement, but these little things add up when you're using the drone frequently. Performance-wise, the Mini 5 Pro is noticeably snappier than its predecessor. Maximum ascent speed has increased to 10 meters per second, and horizontal speed tops out at 18 meters per second compared to 16 on the older model. This might not sound like much, but when you're repositioning quickly to catch changing light or trying to follow a fast-moving subject, that extra speed is genuinely useful. Speed comparison demonstration. The wind resistance improvement is where you really feel the difference. The Mini 5 Pro handles winds up to 12 meters per second, and I've flown it in conditions where the Mini 4 Pro would have been struggling and bouncing around. This new model just sits there, rock solid, delivering smooth footage even when the trees below are swaying heavily. For a drone this light and compact, that's seriously impressive engineering. So, after 3 weeks of intensive testing, flying this thing in every condition I could think of, and directly comparing it to the Mini 4 Pro that I've been using for over a year, here's my honest assessment. And I'm going to break this down into 3 categories, because not everyone watching this is in the same situation. If you currently own a Mini 4 Pro and you're a casual user, you fly a few times a month, mostly for fun or occasional travel content, is the Mini 5 Pro worth upgrading to? Honestly, probably not immediately. The Mini 4 Pro is still an excellent drone, and nothing about the Mini 5 Pro makes your current drone obsolete. Yes, the image quality is better. Yes, the features are cool, but you can absolutely continue getting great results with what you have. Maybe wait for a sale or until you have a specific shoot where you need that extra dynamic range or low light performance. footage comparison, highlighting improvements. However, if you're a professional content creator or serious enthusiast who flies multiple times per week, creates client work, or needs every possible advantage in image quality, this is absolutely worth upgrading to. That 1-inch sensor alone justifies the upgrade because it opens up shooting possibilities that simply weren't available before. The medium telemode and rotating gimbal add creative options that can directly translate to better client deliverables or more engaging content. And those LiDAR sensors provide a safety net that makes more ambitious shots feasible. For anyone who doesn't currently own any DJI Mini and is looking to buy their first compact drone, this is a no-brainer. Do not buy a Mini 4 Pro at this point unless you find an incredible deal used. The Mini 5 Pro is better in every measurable way, and the price difference, if any, is easily justified by the improvements. You're getting a camera system that rivals much larger drones, creative features that were impossible before, and safety systems that give you confidence to push your flying further. Here's what really seals the deal for me. DJI has taken what was already the best compact drone on the market and addressed nearly every weakness it had. Better low-light camera performance? Check. Safer night flying? Check. More creative options? Check. Faster setup and more practical design? Check. They've essentially created the complete package in a sub-250-gram form factor. The only real competition in this category is, well, there isn't any. No other manufacturer has a drone that combines this size, this camera quality, and this feature set at anywhere near this price point. DJI has effectively widened the gap between themselves and everyone else in the compact drone market. Final challenge. Now here's what I want you to do. If you've made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you for sticking with me through this deep dive. Drop a comment below telling me which feature impressed you most. Is it the 1-inch sensor, the rotating gimbal, or those LiDAR sensors? That work in the dark? I'm genuinely curious which upgrade resonates most with different types of pilots. And here's a challenge. If you end up picking up the Mini 5 Pro, I want to see what you create with that rotating gimbal feature. Tag me on Instagram with your most creative shot using that function, and I'll feature the best ones in an upcoming video. Let's see what this community can come up with, because I guarantee there are techniques we haven't even discovered yet. Before you go, if you found this review helpful and detailed enough to make an informed decision, do me a solid and hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content, and it lets me know that deep dive reviews like this are what you want to see. And if you're into drones, cameras, gimbals, or any kind of content creation gear and want honest, thorough reviews without the fluff, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. I've put links in the description to check current pricing on the Mini 5 Pro. And I've also included links to the accessories I recommend, including memory cards that are fast enough for the 4K 120 frames per second recording and ND filters for those bright sunny days. Everything's down there for you. Thank you so much for watching, for investing over 10 minutes of your time with me today. I hope this helped you figure out whether the Mini 5 Pro is the right drone for your needs. Now get out there and create something amazing. I'll see you in the next one.